just like that. Welcome back, everybody, to Crypto After Dark. Professor Keith, Carolina Keith, Keith the simp, regular Keith, Keith the idiot. The camera works again. It's Keith. Well, whatever. I got it fixed. The zoom's a little off, and the settings aren't perfect, but that's okay because it's working. Apparently, there was a software issue. I didn't touch anything. Shit just magically quit. Anyway, welcome. We got 30 minutes of charts tonight. Let's pound through this. Pun intended. Crypto After Dark, everybody. If you haven't done so, please go hit the like button. Comment while you're here and subscribe and hit the notification bells. The more likes, comments, etc. that we get, the higher up YouTube pushes up with the algorithm, the more people we can help, man. We want to help as many people as we can here. Let me adjust this camera just a touch here, because now I can see that it's not exactly dialed the way I want it. Kind of like that. It's a little better. A little skewed, but that's okay. So let's start with a couple charts tonight. I'm going to pull up Bitcoin first because this is the one I had on the thumbnail, right? I basically said, if you looked at the thumbnail, it said, ride it till it breaks. Well, you can take that how you'd like it. You know what I mean? Whatever you're into. I'm not gonna judge. No judgment. However, what you're gonna see now is I made this thumbnail at 10:30 this morning. Okay, and then as the day progressed, the trend line broke. So let's go to the 4 hour. We can see it a little bit here. This move is so steep, right? It's so steep that it's hard to exactly gauge it on a higher time frame like a daily. So I'm going to go down to a 4 hour. And like I said, these moves are kind of rare. You don't see this happen at the snap of a finger on a monthly chart. Just bam, 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 bam. You know what I mean? It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. So it looks like we're finally forming a little bit of the top to this monthly candle here. I'm going to hold off on that for a moment. Let me go down to the 4 hour first. All right. So as you see, we pull the trend line back here, kind of to where we started. This uptrend, not exactly, right? That back here is where it actually really started, and it got a little steeper right here, right? But that's not the point. What I'm going to show you is the points of contact here. Clearly, the trend line rode up here, and now, as I made that thumbnail, one really gnarly 4 hour candle pushed through. Then another 4 hour candle came in and formed this, kind of an inverted dragonfly doji with a red top. So you'd like to see these come in green. They came in red, but it's all right because it's got good buy pressure on the bottom here. What we're going to look for here is to see if this thing chases back up and comes back up to the top of this trend line and tests again. Now, there's different levels to this, okay? You could get a test in this area only, and that's as high as it would go, right? Up to this level and stop, okay? Hard to say exactly. Not the point. More so what we see is when you see a trend line like this break after you've had solid up, for days and days and days and days, it immediately makes me hit the pause button. So a couple guys got stopped out in the Discord. Not everybody. A couple guys got stopped out. I almost got stopped out on a couple trades. I bought a bunch of stuff last night. I got about 60% in the market. Not all the way. I reserved a bunch of funds, and I dipped into the ledger a little bit, scooped some of those off, and I'm going to tell you what. All right, look, I haven't bought anything in a year, right? So I'm going to tell you what. It was a little bit of a heart flutter moment to go over to that ledger and pull stable coins off and move them over. So I want to say this to everybody. If you can, please send a small test amount first to make sure everything works. All right. If you're going to move money from one exchange to the next, or from a ledger to the exchange, or from the exchange to the ledger, however you want to do it, maybe send a test amount first. Okay. Moving large amounts of money at one time is super, super sketch. I'm also watching the Tar Heel game, and we're losing now. Thanks a lot. Freaking Syracuse in their zone. It's sketch to move a lot of money at one time. And I know this. So I don't want anyone to panic and freak out. Be smart. Move a small a little bit first. XLM is always a good one to move because even if you lose it, you're only losing a little and it only costs a couple cents. Moving ERC20 tokens and stuff like that, it costs more. So you've got to be more thoughtful about how you're moving money around and what you're doing with it, right? You can't be silly. You can't be silly. So take that into thought process before you do all this. Now, I will warn you, this may not be the break. As you see right here, we got a similar move. It was a little steeper back here, right? The move was a little steeper, and these are just 4-hour candles. But you had a very sharp move, right? And then it broke the trend, came over, danced. Depending on how you want to draw this, whatever, it's not the point. Point is, you had a similar look over here where it kind of danced around and threw this big hammer candle. You can kind of match the indicators here too and see that, you know, it kind of went overbought back here. Difference is this time, we're not overbought. We're falling down a little farther. In fact, we've ran to the 50 line or so on the RSI. It's kind of what I was looking for. A RSI reset here. It's the same thing it did back here. It ran to the 50. All right, I want to see it bounce off the 50 and go a little higher here. Doesn't go higher, that's fine. I have stop losses set on everything. If it kicks me out, it kicks me out. So be it. I'm not going to stress on it. That's the beautiful thing about stop losses. You know, me and Caroline Ellison don't share that regard. I'm 100% will hit that stop loss button. I don't care. I can always buy in lower. I'm not stupid. So it appears as though this thing has broken the short-term trend. So I want to give this thing a day or two to balance out and see what happens. Because like I said, if you look at the daily chart, this is a very steep move. Very steep, right? These typically don't last when they go this steep, right? The last one was way back here, September, and it only lasted 5 days, 6 days, right? This one was friggin' 24 days. That's a lot. It's a lot to ask of any chart, right? Kind of makes me seem like I don't think that's sustainable. So keep an eye on it. Don't panic. Don't freak out. I put this on Twitter today. It's always a good thing to take a little profits. There's nothing wrong with taking profits anytime. If you feel like you need to take some, absolutely. No one said take them all. You know, maybe take 5% or 10% or 1%, whatever you're comfortable with. But be willing to get some money back out because, folks, if you never take any money out, you don't fully understand what it's like to make gains because you're not actually making gains. You're essentially giving them back to me. You're letting me get profits out and you're not taking anything. You're just leaving it in there, watching it kind of waste away. Maybe you make some money, maybe you don't. But that's not acceptable, man. You got to get a little bit of profit sometimes so you can feel what it's like to actually make some money at this and not just see numbers on a screen, okay? It's a whole different level whenever you do that, right? So where do I see this going? That's the more important question. And I haven't said hey to everyone, but I will here in a moment. 65 people, 27 people liked. If y'all will all go hit like, that would be dope. It'll help us out with YouTube. It'll push us up the algorithm. We're getting close to 10,000. I got some stuff to give away when we hit 10,000 people, 10,000 subscribers. We're getting close, but we're not quite there yet. So one step at a time, right? Anyway, all right, so there was a CME gap here that had already closed. Let me pull up the CME chart. I go down to the 2 hour so we can see it. All right, I erased the gap because it's already closed it. And this was the gap that it formed on Friday till Monday, okay, the weekend. Formed that gap. CME gaps form because the CME market closes on the weekends. You don't know what that means. The CME gap is Chicago Mercantile Exchange. Chicago Mercantile Exchange only runs from Sunday night till Friday afternoon. That's it. Then it stops. And we all know Bitcoin and Ethereum and all other cryptos continue to go. There are only two publicly traded cryptos. That's Bitcoin and Ethereum. Anything else is not publicly traded. It's not on the CME market, and there will be no gaps in the chart. If you see gaps in the chart, just go to a different exchange. It closed this gap, which is great, right? Close that gap. However, still one down here at about 20,000 that we haven't closed yet. It's obvious. It's obvious that it needs to close it. Hasn't closed it yet. Now, when will it close it? That's a great question. It doesn't have to be now, okay? This thing can close the gap in 9 months, whatever. Also note, there's a CME gap at 9,700 that hasn't closed yet. It's my belief and a bunch of other people's belief that this wasn't really a good support level for this price to take off and fly up from, okay? I also believe that the summer, through the summer, into the summer, we're bound to get more up here. This is 2023. It's the year before halving. Every year before halving in the summer, we have a move up. It starts in the spring and runs out through the summer. Obviously, we're in January, so we're being, preemptive here and saying, oh, this is definitely going to happen. Maybe, maybe not. Okay, maybe, maybe not. But it's historically relevant to say that that's going to happen. Now, that sets up a move down lower that could happen at the end of 2023. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen. That's crystal ball shit, and I don't like doing that. But I will say this. Oh my God, we're up by 1 with 17 seconds left. Syracuse is going to hit a 3. Watch. It's important to understand that nothing is perfect here. If you guys are seeing my entries on the Discord, please understand that I don't want you to copy trade me. I have a risk tolerance that you may not be comfortable with. Every trade that I made up till last night was positive. All of them in profits, right? Now, some of the ones I made last night, not in profits anymore, and that's okay. I'm willing to get kicked out. I'm willing to reset and buy in lower. Let's take a look at what may happen and some possible scenarios here after I say hey to everybody. What's up? Big Tex, he was first, brother. I survived the tornado, but everything is flooded. Holy shit, dude. That stuff's on the way to us. We were watching closely to the weather because Beyonce heads out to Indianapolis in a couple days, and she'll be gone for a few days. And there's a possibility that it gets snowed in up there, right? Which is going to affect here, right? So it's just me and the kids for a period of time. We'll see what happens. I think I'm going to take them to a Hornets game. I got some new Hornets jerseys ordered. It ain't their size, but who fucking cares? Cryptorian, good to see you, brother. I'm glad you're all right, though. Water can be cleaned up. Them cars are waterproof, bro. Educated Dummy, good to see you, brother. Bud Wessel, Jag, Osiris. What a dope name. Pete Navarro, what's up, brother? Good to see you. I haven't seen you in a minute. I'm constantly scrolling the screen here, making sure they're winning. Rugsy, what's up, dude? Ghost Guy, Paulo K, Rope-a-Dope, Guise, Sam Zeppelin, I think that's what it's supposed to be. Inject Benchica, I can't pronounce that shit. Fabio, Osiris, Paulo K, Shep Stacks, Lunatic Prophet, Nate S, Chairman Monroe is not even drunk yet. Paulo K again. Mr. Fib, what's up, brother? Good to see you. What's up, Frank? Good to see you, brother. Big Dick Willie. What a name. What a name. Guys, put that out there. I'm not drinking tonight, by the way. I haven't been able to sleep well in the last multiple days, and I took a shit ton THC the other night, like 60 to 80 milligrams, and I finally got some sleep, so I don't want to drink and ruin it because I kind of slept last night too. I stayed up late, but I slept good, so I just got water. Maybe Thursday. We'll see. Great, we fouled them or something. Ah, shit. Well, I don't know what happened. Daniel Kuntz, brother, this has been a bull trap. Come on, man. I want to dip, damn it. Yeah. It's obvious that this isn't the super mega bull move because, I just don't think it is. We have to have some red in here, and it hasn't happened yet. Fighting the truth, right? Guise, what's up, brother? Dynamis, what's up, Dean? Good to see you. China Matt, bro. CME daily 200 moving average. You seen it. Let's have a look at what he's talking about. When China Matt speaks, we shut up and we listen. All right, everybody? 200 moving average, CME chart, Bitcoin pressed against it, right at the trend line. Argue about where you think the trend line should or should not be, but it is right there. Are we going to bounce off of it? Are we going to move up? Well, we don't exactly have the answer to that yet, but we are watching closely. All right. There's a chance this thing holds and bounces. There's a chance it fails and breaks. We're going to have to watch and see. I like what you're thinking, Matt. An overextended RSI hitting the 200 moving average, potentially bouncing off the trend line. This is a setup for a rollover, and I'll get to that in a moment and show you what I mean. Mello, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Daya, hey, everybody, go hit like if you would. 73 people on, 51 likes. If everybody likes, we'll get more people on because YouTube will share it around for us. Papa Nick, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Scoopity Poop, what a name, dude. Don't mint the name, got to change it. That's pretty good. Mad Fresh Food, drinking ruins sleep, man. Exactly, that's why I don't want to do it. I finally got on a roll of sleep, and if you guys know anything about me, I've had insomnia since I was like 12 or 13. I've not been able to sleep for years steadily and smoothly, especially in high stress moments, and the market's been high stress lately for me. Texas Plates, brother, good to see you. Professor Simp, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Faroud, good to see you. Justin Gabriel, Frank. All right, so let's set up Oh, Farad from Fort Mill, South Carolina, original from Uzbekistan. Bro, I didn't know you were from Fort Mill. That's dope. I'm right down the road from you, bro. I'm upstate South Carolina, guy. Come on. We rock Panthers shit around here, sir. Panthers, Hornets, Tar Heels. And if you can't handle that, I don't fucking care. If you're a Duke fan, you can kick rocks and go watch BitBoy. Better late than no show. What's up, Ryan? All right, so let's set the stage for a moment. This thing has ran up. Hypothetically speaking, let's say it's hit the top, all right, and we're going to stop and we're going to roll over and play dead here. Now, this is only a hypothetical, and I believe we're probably going to hold some sort of support here, okay? But I want to set the stage for you for what may conclude. This is Bitcoin CME. It's a little bit more smooth and consistent chart. That's why I like to use it. It doesn't move as snappy as the regular Bitcoin chart, and it takes time off. Still 10 seconds to go. All right, so let's pull from this local bottom and assume that we've hit the top. All right, if I assume we've hit the top and I give that fib some more time there, all right, 382 is right where that CME gap is sitting. If we've hit a point here of stop, we're up by 2 now. If we've hit a point here of stop, what we can conclude from this is the 382 is likely to get hit and close that 20,000 gap. Now, $20,000 is a psychological number. It's nice, even round number. It's the previous bull cycle, not the previous one we just had, but the one before that. 19,980 was the top. So right there is 20,000, that green line. It's highly likely that 20,000 comes back and gets tested. Just saying, all right? Well, what happens to alts from there? Likely you're going to see a good, strong pullback on alts if that happens, and it gives you a chance to find a better entry in case you didn't already buy in, or you want a dollar cost average, or you want to take some profits and pull some back off the top. All right, this move would run out by the end of February, okay? It'd be over with. Wouldn't be able to do this anymore. I'm just assuming here. From there, 19.3 is the 50 fib. We've seen the 50 fib be respected quite a few times here. So I'm going to assume that that 50 fib has some weight. Not all of it, but some. Golden pockets down here at 18.5 to 17.8, where we kind of thought it would go before. Pause. May not happen. Again, all this may just be assumptive, and I may be completely wrong about this, but I want to set the stage for it there just in case. You have some support right here, where I kind of called that magic zone before. Hasn't been tested, just blew right through all of it. Typically, you want to retest these zones. Oh, we're up by 4. Typically, you want to retest these zones and see a good test for a move back up. A move down here would be a 61.8% retrace. Perfect. That'd bring us down from 23 down to 17.8. Almost every alt will probably show you some sort of a double bottom or inverse head and shoulders, and give you a chance to get a better buy-in than what you already have, or DCA, or take profits and then rebuy if you'd like. If it all falls and falls to shit, okay, and it does this move back here all over again and rolls up and rolls over right here. If it does that all over again, which honestly I don't expect it to do, but if it does, your targets down here are 12,765 and 11,080. That's the first part of this, okay? Let's assume none of that happens. I'm going to go over to the tether chart because I don't want to draw all over the CME chart. All right, for a moment, and I got the same levels drawn right here. All right, yellow would be buy in. Red would be I'm done. It's probably going to fail. Green would be holy shit, you gave me the best possible buy that I could ask for. That's just being assumptive, but I'm trying to be real here, okay? Now, I'm going to pull from the top and pull down to the bottom here. All right. Honestly, I expected this to go a little higher through the summer, not right now, but we had a nice pullback right now, pullback up, not down. I want to show you the weekly moving averages. The 200 moving average, it's never been under the 200 moving average for this long, by the way, the price. It's still stuck under it now. Last bull market, the one before that, before one before that, before one before that. Never was it under the 200 moving average for this long. Tar Heels won. However, we've been under it for quite a while. There is a 50-200 moving average death cross forming. That obviously slowed down a little bit because of the upper price action that we've had in the last couple of weeks. I still expect 32,000 or so through the summer, but not before we get that pullback first. And we could go all the way to 40, but more like 32,000. I think that's where we'll likely stall out in the summer. Summer, not right now. It's just the way the cycle works. Okay. What's that going to do to alts? Now you're going to see alts go to their 50s. Some of them make it to the 236s and 382s. Let's set the stage and say this actually happens. How far down could it go? Again, I'm being assumptive here, okay? I'll pull from there, and I'm going to stop at about 30,000, okay? On the back end here, if this thing fails on the back end, let's say we get our move up here and it's nice and smooth and steady and it stops right up here somewhere, all right? Now we got to roll back. We got to retrace before the halving happens in 2024. Now we're looking at chopping back all the way back to 20,000 again, which I believe is probably the likely idea. Let's assume that fails because this happened in 2020 and you can blame it on COVID, but apparently COVID knows math because I'll show you that in a second also. The thought that we come down here farther and we go all the way to 1618 and finish off this high time frame support run is fully in play. Now that wouldn't happen until the end of 2023, going into the beginning of 2024, perhaps Q1. Okay. Now I want to show you what happened in Q1 of the bull market last year. Okay. And yes, people are going to say I'm wrong about this, and that's fine. I just want to give you all of the information here because I think it's all important. I don't want to leave you short on any of it. All right. So right here is the COVID crash. Okay, I put that in quotation marks. Here, China Mac can make a GIF. COVID crash. There you go. Well, wrong button, sorry. I have little buttons I push over here that you can't really see on the screen that switches everything. All right, so anyway, COVID crash. As you see here, I'll go down to daily where it's a little cleaner. There we go. Right there. We had this nice run up in the bull market, quote unquote, bull market that started in the beginning of 2020, right? This is halving year. Ran up, started doing good. Look at the indicators, all got toasty hot, even on the weekly. It's not worth arguing about the weekly. Let's go back. Indicators all got toasty hot on the weekly. All of them ran up. Then we rolled over and failed, blew right through the 50. We tried holding the golden pocket, which I just explained to you would be around 20,000. It tried, couldn't make it, and then dove to the floor. And where did it stop? Exactly at 1618, at the third take profit box on the set. It stopped directly at 1618. Apparently, COVID knows math. It did a perfect 1618 failure down to the floor where we could stop and buy. And yes, it threw a wick farther, and that's fine. I think something similar may happen in the end of 2023. It doesn't have to, and it may not, but there's your possibility if you're holding out hope for that $10,000 to $11,000 range. I don't really care. I'm going to buy and sell along the way regardless. Again, I've tried to tell everybody that from the beginning. But I wanted to set the stage for you because you can remove all the news and worry and hopium and all that from your system. It doesn't matter. None of that matters. All we need is the chart. We already would have sold this to begin with anyway. You had a sell signal up here. Right about here, you had a sell signal when this little trend broke and the 821 cross happened right here. That was our time to bail anyway, right? So you would have been out of this. You would have been walked away and said no thanks. Then all this happened and laid this buy into your lap. Just laid it into your lap. Like I said, that's a long way out. And if we look at last run's summer before halvening, okay, this is 2019. Halvening happened in 2020. So this is 2019, the year before. Similarly, January, you had a heavy run up, and then it rolled over at the end of January, and then February it came up and then stopped a little bit in February. Run up like crazy and run up like crazy through the summer. Do you see that? It's the kind of what looks like happened now, only on a much smaller scale, kind of like down here, right? So what did this fib do? Well, this one did a 618, or actually a 786. I don't plan on a 786 in 2023. If that wants to happen, that's excellent. We'll ride that up no matter what. I'm just saying I expect less. I have lower expectations than everyone else. This thing ran all the way up to 786 and stopped, right? And then curled back and rolled over. And that happened through the summer. All right. Let's translate that into what we have now. I just showed you this a minute ago, but I'll do it again here. Same situation. Run these fibs out all the way over here. And if it ran to 786, that's 50 racks, 50,000. If you buy at 20 and you sell at 50, I don't need to do the math for you to tell you, you did pretty darn well. That's 125, 150%. Not bad. Not bad. That's just Bitcoin. That's not even counting the alts. And the alts move way more rapidly. However, I'll warn you, some of the alts didn't go as far in 2019. Some of them barely made it to the 50 fib. Some of them barely made it to the 382 fib. So you're kind of rolling the dice a little bit there. Now, all this is assumptive. Every bit of it's assumptive. More so, it's me seeing what the charts offer in the cycle. And I've talked about this cycle many times before. I think this cycle will continue to play out. I honestly do. I don't think there's anything that can stop the cycle. People don't quite understand that about Bitcoin, but it's a mathematical certainty. You can't stop it. This math always works. You can't stop it. It's math. People really, really dislike the fact that math is what it is, but I can't change that. And you're not going to be able to tell me any otherwise. So, real quick, we got a couple minutes. Funny how that fibs more often than not. Absolutely, you're damn right. Beast Mode Focus, good to see you, brother. Travis Robertson, what's up, brother? What's next for the CPI report? I don't know. Probably worse numbers or some bullshit. I don't know. I don't watch. I don't care. We've done a couple streams on it because people want it. But again, I don't trade the news. I'm already in or out. So, again, to reiterate, I want 20,000 here at least. 20,000 gives me an excellent buy opportunity. I'll jump on the ledger. And if you don't know this, folks, you don't even have to move your coins to a exchange to trade. You can trade inside the Ledger Live app. All right. It's very cool. You don't have to do it on the ledger. You just use the Ledger Live app. You can trade your assets in there, so you don't even have to hit the exchange. And just remember, unplug your ledger and put it in a safe or something. I have mine sitting right here on the desk because I just used it. But I have multiple of them. A lot of this stuff I can take off and put on the ledger. Some of it I can't. All right. So be smart, be safe. Don't be stupid. Play this smart. Take your profits, for God's sakes. Please take your profits. Rule number 4, take your profits. If you don't take your profits, folks, I will take them for you. There's my quick, simple Bitcoin analysis. I think we may see some more down over the next few days. The next 4-hour candle, I'm likely to scale out. If we get one more big, ugly 4-hour candle, I'm likely to scale out of some of my positions, stack them over in stables, and wait for a better buy. I'll buy them even lower, and I'll make even more money on the way down. No sweat, no worry off my back. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for being here. 80 people on a 30-minute stream is awesome to me. I appreciate every single one of you guys being here. Got a new quote for you. Right? I want to be a little bit more inspirational on here. Sometimes I'm a bit of a dick, and I know that, and I'm sorry. So I'll tell you this. I want the best of your todays to be the worst of your tomorrows. I'll let you linger on what that means, okay? Even though I'm not thinking that far ahead, I want the best of your todays to be the worst of your tomorrows. Thank you all for coming. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 2 p.m., Wednesday, live stream, afternoon. After that, question and answer in the Discord. Thursday, full hour, 11 p.m. Thank you. In the words of the late, great, notorious B.I.G., could have been anywhere in the world. It chose to be here with me. That previous quote was from Jay-Z, by the way. Sky's the limit, y'all. Y'all be good. I'll see y'all on the next live stream. Peace.